Good morning and welcome to Full Circle Ozarks.
Morning, friends. Welcome back to Full Circle Ozarks. We're going to be back down here at the chicken coop, the sawmill, the back of the house. I'm going to pick up the last project a little bit. I'll show you what I've got done and what I didn't get done here in just a moment. But I have kind of expanded the project just a little bit. I decided I'm going to go ahead and at least run a piece of conduit down to my sawmill so I can go ahead and pull a wire down to my sawmill so I can have lights down there. So I'm going to be hopefully getting that done today. That's the plan anyway. We've got a lot of other things to do. At the back of the chicken coop, I've got to put a box there that I can actually hook into. And speaking of that, what I've had before, I've had an overhead wire running from my porch overhead down to the chicken coop. Did y'all hear that acorn fall on top of the sawmill shed? Just as a side word there, occasionally when I'm down here working, a walnut will fall, an acorn, and it'll wake you up if you're not careful. But anyway, back to what I was saying. I'll take you up here and I will show you where I had the temporary wire, and the temporary's lasted almost 3 years, but it's in the air and I need to take that down and get that buried. So I've already buried part of that. So I'm going to be in the process of putting an electrical box on the back of the chicken coop, and that box will actually be where I will have my plugs and everything for my lights in my chicken coop, and then I can also tie into it and run on down to the sawmill. So let me kind of give you a walk around and show you what we've got to do yet. As you can see right over there, you'll see a wire coming down from this cedar tree. And from that cedar tree, the wire goes up to this big hickory right up there. And then from the hickory on over to the corner of the house. So that's what's been giving me electricity down at the chicken coop thus far. And so I need to replace that and get that wire buried. But back over here, you can see that's where we put the water spigot in at the back of the chicken coop. That's fully functional. But what I need to do, somewhere on the back of the chicken coop here, I'm going to put a box, electrical box, and be able to bring a wire in, tie into there. And the only thing that I have powered down here, I have an electric fence that's around, which there's the controller for the electric fence. That takes very little energy. And when it's extremely cold, I have a heater that goes in the water. That don't take a whole lot of energy. So it doesn't take much at all down here at the chicken coop in terms of energy. But what I've got to do, I've got to go ahead and start trenching from right there. We're going to trench right down through here and right down to the sawmill shed right about there. So I've got to get that trench opened up. And that's where I'm going to put some conduit that I can pull a wire through. Before I start trenching though, I want to go ahead and take my tractor and see if I can get some of this loose dirt out of the way. We've had 2 big rainstorms since this spigot was put in, and I need to just pull some of that dirt back because I'll be again trenching right down through there. And then I also want to show you some more cleanup that I got to get done. Okay, if you go back and look at the previous video, you will saw where I trenched right down from the corner of the house up there, and we buried a 4-inch piece of drain pipe with a sock over it, and we went under the foundation of the house so we will have a good drain from under the foundation. So there's still a little bit of landscaping that I've got to do. I wanted to give that a few days to be able to settle after a couple of good rains, and we've got that rain. So I need to do a little bit more landscaping on that. And then I've got some dirt I can put on that after I get rid of all that rock and stuff. So with all that to say, I think I better get on the tractor and get started and get some of this here cleaned up. Just about to get it. Well, folks, as usual, I run out of time, run out of daylight. I had a meeting I had to get to, and so I'm gonna have to call it a day. As you can see, I got the trench all dug out. We're ready to lay the line. So we'll pick up on this project tomorrow morning. Again, if you're new to the channel, I normally publish every Tuesday and Thursday, but stay tuned because that may be changing. Thank you for all my subscribers, for being faithful and watching our videos. It means the world to us. So take care, God bless, and I'll see you again on the next Full Circle Ozarks.